Frontiers 2025. I'm joined by Renzo Dicarlo, Head of Development at AstraZeneca. Just got done with the session, Pharmatizing AI. Thanks for joining me, Renzo.
Thank you for having me.
So what would you say was your biggest takeaway from that panel discussion you participated in?
I would say the biggest takeaway is that the fact that so many different professionals in the panel are really applying AI to their pharmaceutical work, whether it be in R&D or commercial or clinical work. There's a lot of opportunities to apply digital solutions in our R&D work that we have right now.
Give me one example from AstraZeneca.
From AstraZeneca, what we're doing is we're twinning patient population. So what that means is creating an artificial patient to augment our clinical trials, so that instead of having a panel of 60 patients for a study, you only need 40. That means that you get to go through the drug cycle quicker, and then bring the treatment to market faster.
Right. So why pharmatizing AI instead of AI-ing pharma?
That's a good question. So I would say that think of it as like everybody has wearables, right? You have Apple Watches, you have Fitbits, you have different devices. But that is AI. Now what you're doing is you're taking those solutions and you're applying it to pharma. So that's what is meant by pharmatizing AI, is where you take that AI solution, you give it a pharma twist to it. And so many of our things, so many of our technologies, including our iPhones, are now being able to be used in pharma industry.
So you just got off stage in the Pharmatizing AI panel. Talk to me a little bit about what your role was on that panel and some of what you were talking about from your experience.
So I look at it beyond just the pharma side. So we covered the life sciences space, the electronics, semiconductor space, as well as the pharma portion. And so looking at the pharmatized piece, there's some consistency across all of this. It's like, how do you add quality to the information sets that are powering these models? And if you can add kind of the rigor that pharma takes to its data as it's rolling out a new drug into AI that is being used for science, then you have something that's remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, Merck is bigger than just pharma, so you have that broader perspective you can bring, right?
Yep, but bound by science, right?
So what do you think are kind of the biggest challenges that are ahead for deploying pharma smartly and scalably in AI? Deploying AI smartly and scalable in pharma?
I think it comes down to trust. Can you trust the data that's being used to train the models, and can you trust the models and the output that comes from it? And so I think the question is going to be, how do we create a robust mechanism of traceability back, that I have this inference, this output that comes from this transformer that is then trained on some foundational set? And how do we create that lineage? How do we create that data label that allows us to believe that this thing came from something that was real and is scientifically sound?
Yeah, so balancing that transparency with everyone wanting to have sort of like that competitive edge with their data, right?
That's right. Yep, that's right. I can't begin to even count the number of startups that are working on foundation models for very specific aspects of biology. And the reality is, like, it's probably not going to be a proprietary thing. You're going to need a project that is massive to be able to encompass the molecular, cellular, tissue, organism levels, to be able to give us that sense of how does life work.
What are you looking to accomplish here at Frontiers in terms of meeting people, making connections, and advancing the work you're doing?
I think we're within 2 to 3 years of AI being augmented to almost every single part of the value chain in pharma and in health. And the question is, where is that going to come in, and who are the ones that are going to do it best? What's fascinating is I think large companies have done an extraordinary job of adopting very quickly, to the extent that some startups that are historic have not necessarily moved as quickly in the space. And so it's the first time that I'm noticing this difference between pace in looking at this for the last couple decades.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be exciting to see where that goes. Thanks for chatting with me, James.
Excellent. Thanks for having me.